Hi Mehul, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Doing great, man.
I'm nervous. Are you nervous?
Not at all.
Well, because we're speaking about things that are technically your domain.
Yeah.
Okay. So, firstly, for those who aren't aware, welcome to Podcast with Parth. He's the actual host, but he's the expert who we're going to interrogate. And the format of the show is simple. We're going to have different people come into this chair and ask about subjects that are interesting to them. So today it's me speaking about artificial intelligence and how that affects the markets, how that affects
Yeah.
investors. So am I right in assuming this path?
I'm very excited about this topic and I'm so glad that you chose this topic.
Well, lovely. So okay, let's like I've got so many notes for that particular reason because it's very intricate and detailed. So tell me one thing. Over the last few weeks, I would say that since a few months, in fact,
Yeah.
whenever you look at your investment portfolio or just the tech headlines, and we're here in late February 2026, it feels like we just need a very stiff drink. It feels like the world is changing so rapidly. What is going on? What's up?
You know what? Exactly that. Well, rattled is what I would call it, but it still doesn't quite cover it, Mehul. The market is acting like it's seen a ghost, and specifically a ghost that writes code better than what we would have.
Exactly. So that's the vibe, na? It
Yeah.
feels like humans aren't necessary anymore, are they?
Yeah.
So we're seeing all of these massive sell-offs, particularly in the US market, which causes major jitters in the global market. And there's a narrative that artificial intelligence or AI is no longer just a cool experiment. AI has landed today, and it's a legitimate threat, so to say, to a lot of professions, particularly those being software developers or coders, as we call them. So my question is, are they a legitimate threat to every white collar job in, say, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, the IT hubs of India, so to speak, and beyond? But one thing that we always discuss on this particular show is panic is a terrible investment strategy, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need data. And I haven't met anyone who studies or hoards or absorbs data as well as you do. So explain it to me, break it down like a crime scene investigation if you can, and tell me, is this particular time frame the biggest buy in the dip opportunity of the day?
Well, I wish I could give you a simple answer or just a blanket statement, but I'll tell you this: it certainly feels like an apocalypse to some, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the numbers tell a much more complex story. See, in late January to early Feb 2026, two things happened back to back,
Mm-hmm.
and which just broke the market's psychology.
Okay. Let's get into the first. I'm guessing that's Palantir.
Yeah.
So what happened? What is Palantir? What did they do that made everyone literally drop their coffee mugs?
Well, they just released details on their AIP, which is the artificial intelligence platform. Usually, these things are just buzzwords,
Mm-hmm.
but this was much more surgical. They claimed that they could shorten complex SAP migrations, which is basically an open heart surgery of corporate IT, from years down to a couple of weeks.
Okay. So for our listeners who don't absorb IT journals and IT magazines, why is SAP migration or SAP migration such a huge thing? Why is it going from years to weeks such a huge game changer?
Mehul, just think of it like this. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
you're hiring a team of, let's say, 500 workers to manually renovate a massive 100-story heritage hotel in Mumbai.
Okay.
Well, it's supposed to take you 3 years to be able to do that. Now, you are the contractor and you're billing by the hour for those 500 people. And suddenly, a company shows up with a new 3D printing robo and they can do the whole renovation in 14 days with only 5 workers.
So you're saying that my 3 week or 3 month or X amount of time of work just got compressed and shortened into like a few days?
Sadly, exactly that. See, the entire business model for many of these IT firms is built on friction. You bill for the difficulty. If AI removes the friction, it removes the invoice. And before the market could breathe, Anthropic dropped the second punch, a legal and marketing plugin for their model Claude.
And this isn't just writing emails, right?
Nope, nope, nope. We are talking about high end discovery, 500-page contract reviews, a deep data analysis. This is work that junior lawyers and analysts spend years learning. It's labor displacement at the knowledge level. The market saw these two things and said, if AI does the work, where do corporate profits even come from?
So this sounds like an existential crisis to me. Like if I'm a corporate, all of a sudden I'm worried as to, how am I going to keep my business going?
Yeah.
But there's also a very weird part in the report that I want to pick your brain about. While everyone in the stock market is selling
Yeah.
and like panic selling, big tech, the hyperscalers, the who's who of the industry, they're doing the exact opposite. They've been spending like there's no tomorrow. They've been emptying their coffers.
Yeah. Mehul, this is the most critical disconnect. Let's talk CAPEX, capital expenditure. In 2024, the AI specific spending by companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Meta, it was about 21% of the total spending of the entire S&P 500.
So 1/5 of all of their building for the future was spent on AI.
It was, Mehul, it was. And you know what? It gets even crazier. The projection for right now, that is 2026, it's that it'll jump to 33%. Think about that one. One out of every $3 invested in infrastructure by corporate America is going into AI data centers and chips. Hundreds of billions of dollars.
Okay. But is it a visionary move or is it like a massive bubble waiting to explode? Like at some point, me as an investor, any investor is going to be like, okay, show me the profit, show me the money.
I think it's a very nuanced answer, Mehul. If I had to put it this way, I think I'd say it's a winner takes most. Let's bring home to India. Because when the US sneezes, Indian IT catches a cold. And this time, it looked like pneumonia. The Nifty IT index dropped 6.5% in a single week.
6.5% in 1 week? I mean, that's a bloodbath for a lot of these stocks. Is the labor arbitrage model, the hire in India because a developer in India is cheaper than a developer in Ohio, is it dead?
That's the fear, Mehul. I mean, if a robot costs 10 cents an hour, it doesn't matter if a human in India will cost 20 cents or let's say a human in New York will cost $100. The robot wins. But, and this is a big, big but, the Indian IT isn't the victim. It's the enabler.
Enabler. That sounds something very much like a CEO would say in a press conference for like damage limitation. So, okay, I get that you're saying it.
Yeah.
Prove it to me. What's the proof? How do you claim that Indian IT is the enabler of this?
I see it's very difficult to prove anything, but I'll just drive across my logic.
Okay.
Fair? See, look at company A. I'll not be able to take names here. Just
I
look
mean,
at
come on. But
no, I'll not be taking names. Look at company A. They are currently working with 90% of their top 200 clients on AI projects.
Okay.
They have more than 4,600 active AI projects right now. Well, at this point, I feel you will be able to guess which company we're talking about. And please don't take the name. This isn't people playing with ChatGPT. This is enterprise grade development.
Well, I won't take names either. But 4,600 active AI projects.
Yeah.
That's massive, isn't it?
Get this, Mehul. Their teams have already generated over 28 million lines of codes using AI. Now you might ask, if AI writes the code, does the human bill less? Well, in short term, maybe. But look at the Jevons paradox. When a resource becomes more efficient, we usually end up consuming more of it.
Like when cars become more fuel efficient, instead of us saving money on the fuel expense, we just end up driving for longer distances, taking more road trips. Is that right?
That's precisely right. And because coding is getting cheaper and faster, companies are finally building the systems they were scared to 5 years ago. Now they are building agents, entire AI agents, and they are building 500 agents at once.
Okay. Firstly, what's an agent? And like just define it for me such that I'm someone stuck on Western Express Highway and I want to kill the next car in front of me and also AI for threatening my job.
Well, I wish there was an AI agent to answer your question right now, but that's not happening. So I'll tell you what an agent is. See, an agent is someone who does the work. An agent sees the invoice, matches it to the purchase order, checks the warehouse inventory,
Mhm.
updates the ledger, and then pays the vendor also.
Oh,
All without a human even clicking approve. Indian IT is shifting from staffing the back office to building these agents, these robo armies that run the entire back office.
so they're not, so they, I'd say that they're like the architects and they're not just the bricklayers or the majdoors who work on the site.
I think this is the best way you could have put it. And if you look at the US
Mhm.
software sector right now, the report says that the slump is sentiment driven, not fundamental, despite the panic. Revenue per share for US software is projected to rise by 20% this year and another 16% in 2027. Now, that's a boom, that's not a bust.
Okay. So you're saying the market looks like a ghost, okay? Like a very scary future where people, like humans, may not be needed, but it also looks like a very rich ghost with a huge gold mine at the end of the tunnel.
That's quite an analogy right there. But listen, this is the takeaway. We are in a structural change here and we all need to accept it.
Mhm.
Yes. And if you refuse to adapt and if you just want to like bill hours for like simple data entry, you are in trouble. But if you are the construction queue, building the roads, building the bridges of this new AI world, you have never been more valuable.
Okay, so for our listeners for this podcast who are listening in today and who are looking at their portfolios trying to assess what do they hold on, do they buy, do they sell, what's the final verdict? What does it look like?
If I had to say, I'd put it this way: don't bet against the people selling the shovels in a gold rush. Indian IT has survived the cloud is going to kill us scare, and the automation is going to kill us scare. They are currently writing 28 million lines of code, and they'll prove that they will survive this one too. The question isn't, will AI replace you? It's who manages AI the best.
Nice. Interesting way to put it. And I think I can put the paper bag away for now. Parth, thank you for, well, decoding the crime scene for us, so to say. Um, any final thoughts from your side?
Mehul, it's always been a pleasure talking to you. I would just say that, don't just look at the headlines, but make sure you read the fine print, just keep your eyes on the data. And yeah, that's it from my side, Mehul.
Lovely. And for our listeners, this is a very simple disclaimer from our side, which is these are our opinions. These are based on his study of data. This is based on our understanding of the data and the market sentiment. And finally, we'd just like you to like, share, and subscribe to Podcast with Parth, where I get to pick his brain on different subjects and different guests come to pick his brain on different subjects as well. Parth?
Pleasure being here, Mehul. Always ready for further podcasts and further topics.
This is an educational video. This is not a recommendation or advice. Viewers are advised to do their own research and consult SEBI registered professional before taking any decision.